Thank you. Mr. Messner, many people think that life will get back to normal when there is a vaccine. How confident are you that a vaccine will be developed by 2021, and will you trust one that is brought to market that quickly?
Yeah, John, it's not clear exactly when a vaccine will be done. I know there's some talk that maybe it might even be available this year, if not this year, next year. I think it's incumbent upon the government to fully disclose once a vaccine is developed, how it was developed, what testing has been done, what are the implications of that vaccine on individuals, and so there's a clear and transparent disclosure about all the details with respect to that vaccine. I think that's very, very important. Given what we've been through in this crisis, I think any vaccine developed requires the government to provide full transparency to every American before any American decides whether they want that vaccine or not.
And General Bolduc, same question.
Yeah, thank you, John, very much. Well, first of all, vaccines are a very sensitive subject, and I believe where there is risk, there should be choice. And in this case, I don't think we really fully understand the virus itself. And so how are we going to be able to develop a vaccine that we can actually trust? And I do not believe that the current CDC and NIH and any other government medical facility with standards on this is being held to the proper standard for any vaccine. And I think those need to be improved first and foremost. And I do not believe in mandatory vaccinations, and I want to get that point out right here. It's not that I'm an anti-vaxxer, as I've been described, but I am about public safety, and I am about people's rights, and people should have the choice.
And General, just to clarify, will you take the COVID-19 vaccine yourself?
I will not take it at this time, and I'm going to have to be assured that it is safe and it does what it's intended to do without any other side effects before I decide to take it, and before I recommend anyone else take it. I still believe it needs to be an individual choice.
Mr. Messner, how about you? Will you take that vaccine?
Yeah, Adam, you asked me the other day, I think, the same question. Don't know. I think the government needs to disclose fully all information about the vaccine so that every American has the information so they can make an informed choice about whether to take the vaccine or not. I do not believe in mandatory vaccines. I believe people should have the choice. In addition, I believe if people decide not to take the vaccine, that there should be no penalty held against them for not taking the vaccine.